Hi, precious hearts. I'm Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom for the week of October 16th through the 23rd. And we start off the week. I'm going to speak to something for a moment, and hopefully it resonates with you. But the week before, we had a full moon in Aries, and that was a really tough, energetic week. I've got lots of reports. I experienced it myself where things were just up for us. And it was one of those really shaky times and moments of questioning things. And I really feel like this week in particular, we can start to solidify, start to feel a little bit more of our confidence coming back if it was shaken. Also, there was some probably deep healing work that happened during the full moon and the week that followed. And so right now in this coming week, some of the things that we put in motion last week where there's some long range effects, we may not see the results right away. This week, we can start to see some of these results coming to fruition, or some things being unbound for us. And our relational desires and needs are going to be illuminated more and more. We start on Sunday, October 16th, with Venus and the Sun starting into this exact canoodling, which will happen later in the week. But we're going to be feeling it as Venus is moving closer to the Sun. And then the Sun at the end of the week is going to transition into the sign of Scorpio. So we got a lot of Libra energy here where we're looking for that beauty and harmony and balance within ourselves first and foremost, and then also in our closest relationships, whether it's personal or professional. Mars is also in a trine with the Sun, so expressing our needs and desires are becoming more and more important. And it's really important too because of how we express them. It's not so much of what we say as much as how we say it. And even though the what is certainly part of it, but you'll find that people seem to be a little bit more friendly and that new friendships or new romances can really happen here. So get out and socialize. This is a great week to circulate, go to, happy hours or work events or chances just to get out and maybe go to a baseball game. I know it's the end of the season, but football, whatever. If you're into sports, this is a great time for you to socialize and connect and just have some fun. Monday, October 17th, Mars makes this exact, trine with the Sun and still trining with Venus because Venus and the Sun are canoodling. So if you are not dating at this moment, just go out and be social. But if you do want to date, again, you've got the support this week. Also, our artistic expression, our creativity, or pursuing a passion becomes really heightened. And so taking time to think about what is it that I don't want, because that informs me what I do want. And just because I can have something, or just because something can be an option for me, doesn't mean I have to take it. So really looking at this from a simplistic view, but also from a chance to be able to say, I'm going to pursue the things that bring me joy, that bring out the best in me, that allow me to contribute to society in a positive way. And many of us are probably thinking about ways in which we can activate our creativity. Mars and Venus are making that trine on Tuesday. So our increased desire for social connection, enjoying the sweetness of life and love, creativity is stimulated, inspiration can motivate us to break through any glass ceilings we have. So we may have these mental blocks that have kept us in this sort of status quo place, and we're ready to be stimulated to go to that next level. Mental activity gets stimulated, conversations give us opportunity to speak the truth in love, and also as we're connecting and sharing ideas, all of a sudden our creativity gets activated and stimulated even more, because it's like, oh, what they said, that motivated me. I will say this: listening to or watching motivational speeches or listening to music that just brings out all this aliveness and all this energy in you is a wonderful way not only to connect to others and just enjoy life, but also really connecting to yourself and moving your body and getting that creativity going again. And why is creativity so emphasized this week? At least for me, why I am emphasizing it is because this is the thing that's going to start stimulating hope and anticipation and lightness, because things have been heavy, And I think we've been beating ourselves up a little too much lately, but that's going to change too, as Venus will also move from the morning star to the evening star. And so instead of it being so externalized, and that happens on Friday when the sun and Venus are exactly combust or conjuncting, um, but when that happens, will feel more internalized with things, but we can start to speak more lovingly and compassionately with ourselves. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Let me not pass over how Wednesday, Chiron and the South Node are having this inconjunct or quincunx energy that are happening. And so these little wounds that are coming up, they come to the surface, and we can create feelings of irritation or frustration with ourselves or with others. But remember, we can't heal what we don't feel. So these inconjuncts or these quincunxes come in, and I compare them to the mosquito in the tent or the mosquito in the room. It's like you can hear it buzzing around, and it lands on you, but you can't seem to smack it, or you can't seem to get rid of it, whatever. And so these moments can create that irritation. But when that irritation comes up, remember that something is activated inside of you and me as a teacher, as a chance to be able to say, okay, if that button wasn't there to be pushed, then I wouldn't be reacting. So also these little moments of uncertainty that could pop up in the middle of all this creativity and all this stimulation and conversations, well, they can offer opportunities for healing the past. It's a perfect time to dig in and use our spiritual practices, our spiritual tools. And, I mentioned last week, and I'll keep reminding us, we learn a skill, or we gather these tools, and we put ourselves in these situations, and there's an initiation. There's a time to practice them, and we won't be able to practice without the opportunities. So when these irritations come up, see them as like your spiritual dojo. Use your spiritual practices to go, okay, I've done this before, I've seen this before, how can I do it differently with this new practice? Do I ground? Do I communicate better? Do I do some self-care? What do I need right now first in order to approach this in a different way? Give ourselves a break. Please, please be compassionate with ourselves. On Thursday, October 20th, there's not a huge moment in time with the astrological pieces, but what we will be feeling and sensing is getting to know ourselves on a deeper level will invite greater self-awareness and offers us a chance to do what we love, make a positive impact. And when we love what we do, the rest will follow. So if we're pursuing something and we're not being intentional and our motivation is not of the best, then this is a time to reset it, a time to reevaluate it and just go, wait a minute, am I doing what I love? And am I making a positive impact on the world? And that leads us into Friday, when the sun and Venus will be exactly canoodling. And this is where Venus moves from morning star into evening, as I mentioned before. And so we're going to be looking at self-love, self-compassion, our internal values, radical self-acceptance. And we're going to be energized by acts of loving kindness. And also, we're going to be wanting to be more kind and show our kindness, looking for ways to leave the world a better place and have and leave people better than when we found them. We'll be motivated by healthy and loving relationships. And this will lead us into the weekend as the sun makes its move into the sign of Scorpio, where we get deeper and we want to make really strong emotional bonds. And we look at ourselves and we look at the people we're connected to, and we say, I got your back. I'm your ride and die person, and are you mine? And do we want to take ourselves out of this surfacey part of the relationship and really get deeper? And in order to do that, we have to have times where we face our fears, we face the shadow, and we integrate. And that's the part of Scorpio season that I really love. Also, there's a desire and a mystery that in relationships and loving relationships can create more eroticism and more connection, because there's something there that is fun to flirt with. And it's also a little mysterious, and it gives you a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a game, if you will, and not necessarily in a bad way. So, allow the creativity to rise up and to be a part of your life this week, because it's going to inform you on your deeper relationship connections as the next coming weeks come up. One other thing to note, if you're still watching this video, I will be staffing in my role as staff director for Nine Gates Mystery School starting Tuesday, the 18th. And I will be back in my office on Monday, October 31st, which of course is Halloween, Samhain, and one of my favorite holidays. And so if you need me, there's going to be a delay in my response. And just know that I'm here and I would love to connect with you. I will reach out back to you if you reach out to me as well. All right, come find me at jamiedawn.com. And I hope that you guys have such a great week.